Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another mutation rotation video. It is Tuesday morning, and it's the day that the mutation dungeons change. It's the day that you can go get your cursed coconut that will allow you to upgrade your gear to levels or gear score level 700 or 725. So as most of you know, Tuesdays are a big day. It's reset day. We're gonna go over what mutations we have, what dungeons we have, and what you can get from each dungeon. So the three dungeons we have are Barnacles and Black Powder, which allow you to get Dark Void Plate. And then we have the Enid, which allows you to get the Wall. And then we have Imperium Forge, which allows you to get Inferno. All three are really good items. But before we go over the items, we're going to figure out what the actual mutations are. For this week's damage buff that they get is Abyssal. Enemies deal 50% of all damage as void damage. The second mutation for M2s is going to be Savage. It's Festering. Enemies are Festering 2. Enemies apply a stacking disease on hit, reducing incoming healing by 2.5 to 5% per stack. Slicer. Enemies cast slicing beams that deal 30% base void damage when touched. It's those purple beams that just start rotating. And then for M3s, which hardly anybody ever does, we have Desiccated 2. Combustible Void periodically selects the player with the lowest percent health. After several seconds, the selected player casts Chain Void, damaging nearby players 50% of their max health. This effect cannot be cleansed by player abilities. And then you have Shriveled Void. When selecting the lowest percent health player, all other players are given Shriveled Weaken, reducing their damage by 50% and outgoing healing by 50%. The selected players gain an aura that cleanses Shriveled Weaken. This cannot be cleansed by players' abilities. Okay, so that adds a whole nother mechanic to it. So that's super dope. But like I said, not very many people really do M3s. I'm hoping that changes in season 10. Hopefully the reward for completing such a difficult mutation or difficult dungeon pays off more so than not. Right now you only need to get a little bit, you just get a little bit of extra materia from completing M3s, and it's so much faster to farm M1 and M2s. You get the same gear, not as high as gear drop levels, but you're able to upgrade it all the same. So therefore we don't really have a reason to be farming M3s. So let's go into Barnacles and Black Powder and what we get. We get Dark Void Plate, which is something that I personally absolutely need to have for my tank build. It's a plus 32 magnify for the highest attribute, which is going to be 9 times out of 10 for me is going to be Constitution. Dark Reinforce, your armor is increased by 20%. Then I can add a gem, and then it's got Enchanted Ward, and then Physical Aversion. Receive 4.5% less damage from ranged physical attacks, and then whatever, which more than likely going to be either refreshing, or if I am able to get elemental aversion, which allows me to take less damage from elemental range. I don't know if I can add that myself with the random perk, but we're going to figure that out. So that is what you get from Barnacles and Black Powder. The Enid, we get the Wall, which is a really good sword and shield tank shield from what I understand. I do believe that there are better that you could get artifacts, so this might be on the back burner if we end up getting the Dark Void Plate and the Inferno, which is the fire staff that we're going to go over in a minute. Then we'll probably start farming over this one. But you get Shield Wall, gain 5% base damage reduction. You cannot dodge, and stamina regen rate is reduced by 10%, but have a 33% more stamina while active or sheathed. Chromatic Ward, you take 13% less damage from all elemental sources and have plus 10% elemental armor. Receive 10% less stamina damage while blocking. And then you get Keenly Fortified, gain 15% fortified for 5 seconds upon critical hit. Like I said, I'd much rather have like the artifact sword over the wall, but the wall is still pretty good because it's got the shield wall. So moving on to the Inferno, which you get from Imperium Forge. This is a really good fire staff. You get plus 38 magnify, inner power. If your strength attribute is higher, replace your base weapon scaling with strength. Plus 15% damage when you hit a target within 15 meters. Works on both weapons. So, I mean, even if you pair this with like a void gauntlet or something, or, you know, whatever, both weapons end up doing more damage. And then you get keenly empowered, gain 10% empower for 5 seconds on a critical hit. So it just leaves you empowered more. You won't have to dodge as much. Then vicious plus 7% critical damage is up to best, but it's pretty good, right? Because it allows you to do more damage with your secondary or your primary. You can wear this as a secondary. Just gives you more DPS overall. Probably really good for like falling back in PvP or OPR or something like that. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all would use this build for, because like I'm rarely ever using magic builds, so like that's something I'm going to do in the future. I want to start getting into like void gauntlet, fire staff combo and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what we get from there. Also we have the weekly, oh yeah, we need, so with the void, before we go any further, we need to go and get our void gauntlet amulet. So this is on Pangea, so let's make sure that we have some before anybody takes them all, because if there is one, we'll go ahead and buy one. I know I jacked one from all y'all last week for the nature, and I ended up not even being able to farm like I wanted to. So let's go void protection right here, apply. Let's go can afford, can use, and then it's sorted by gear score. I don't want no Gorgon stuff. But I mean, at this rate, I might as well, right? At least for this one. 710. Void protection. Refreshing recovery when your health drops below 50%. All your active abilities cooldowns are reset. That's pretty cool. That's 5,000. I don't know, man. Let's go see if we can figure out where we can farm one. So let's come back over here to the database. Let's go find void protection. Guiding, let's not, is that an amulet? That is an amulet. Let's see where we farm this from. Okay, so that's not a viable one because that's all from jewelry scraps. And that's, here we go, glass oculus. Looks like, let's see where this guy's from. Up in Brimstone. Okay, so you can take all these. These are going to be your take grave. Oh, these are going to be like the equivalent to the elite chest in Brimstone. So this is where we're going to be at, I think. So just farm all those. So yeah, these are going to be the chestesses. But you got a giant pool that you could end up getting them from. So I would get to farming, honestly. I'm probably going to see if I can't farm that. And if I can't find it, then I'll just, looks like maybe by, what is this? Constitution. That one gives magnify and power. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this because I'm not sure which one I want to get, if I want to farm for it. 685. I mean, 685 is not too bad. It gives me strength, and then you got 683 for 3,000. So I would probably go with this one. Let me see. So yeah, I'm gonna look at this later, but yeah, that's where you would get your amulet or amulet, however you say it, that you need for this week's mutations. So also don't forget that you can come down here to the Cutlass Keys and you can get your weekly cursed golden coconut. And I'm gonna show you. I know a couple of y'all came into chat throughout this week's streams asking about what does the golden cursed coconut do, and I'm going to show you right now. So if we come over here to resources and we get where's that? Right here. Nope, that's the armor matrix right here. The gold cursed coconut, a coconut covered in the same liquid gold you've seen on Lost Pirates and the Cutlass Keys. So you would take this right there. You'd come over here to the gypsum kiln, and remember, it's season 10. This is all going to be changing. So if I wanted to upgrade this Azoth Crystal Kite Shield, which I didn't even know I had, that's super dope. I wish I could get the rest of the armor. So nope, not that. Let me see. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. We need to get like our blood drinker. Let me get that unequipped and then I'll show y'all. Let's put that there. Blood drinker there. Where is blood drinker? Here. So that's 725, right? And we need an apex crafting, which is going to be our GoldenCursed Coconut right here. So you do that, and you need one chromatic seal and then one jewelry matrix to be able to upgrade this to 725, and then you'll be able to pick your perk that you want to be able to add to it. So that's what you can use the GoldenCursed Coconut for, chat. That way, for those of y'all that didn't know, and how you get it, which I'll make a video whenever I go after it. I'll just record it, right? Which is in stream. I can probably link the video of getting this most recent one, but like I said, I don't have the stream's timestamp. But yeah, so what I typically do is I come down to this right here. I go across this bridge and I ride across here. And I come up here, and most of the time I find one right here or right here. If I'm not mistaken, this week I went all the way up top. And I went along the beach here, all the way up here, and I end up getting it from the cave that's just right down here. But yeah, just run along here or run along here and look for any elite chest or the golden beams that have the cursed chest, and you'll be able to get your golden coconut like that. Let me see, what else do we go over before we end the video, which I think that might be it, chat. If there's anything else that resets, let me know down in the comments. That way I can add on to the video. If there's anything in the video that you would like me to add, let me know. Definitely, I want to give the most accurate information that we're able to, and the most efficient information that we're available to. So y'all let me know what else y'all would like to see in these videos, and we will see y'all on the next one. Thank you.